Cut the music. You know, normally I would come out here, talk to every single one of you, say, how's your night going? But excuse me for tonight because I have a very specific agenda to get to. You see, for the last few weeks, there's been a certain group that has decided to interfere in practically every match that I've had since they decided to come back. And I feel it's high time that we kind of address things. You see, 2 weeks ago, I was in a match, and they basically cost me the win. Last week, they decided they wanted to butt in, and people are saying, you know, Seth, why? In fact, there was one individual last week that was saying, Seth, what are you thinking? What are you doing? And tonight, I feel like this needs to be addressed because I am not an individual that follows the lead anymore. In fact, throughout a lot of my career, I have not been that individual that follows the grain like everybody else does. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little ticked off that people are questioning my intent. That they're questioning my intentions of whether I'm going to become a part of Ascension, whether I'm going to stay the man that I am today, and stay true to each and every one of these people in the crowd like I promised, or whether I'm going to go back to the old me of 2010, 2011, and be the guy that essentially screwed over every single one of my friends, every single person in the back for my own personal agenda. You see, it's very simple. Everything that you've seen the last couple weeks in terms of Bryce and Cirque coming down to the ring, Bryce and Cirque meddling into my matches, none of these things have actually been something that I've known about. And I know there's people in the back that want to question that. They want to think, well, how did you not know what was going to happen? Contrary to what it seems, I haven't talked to these guys in years in terms of talking about wrestling, talking about families, in fact, the day I left this company back in 2012, I haven't heard from them since on an aspect of, hey, Seth, how are you doing? Hey, Seth, how's the family? Hey, Seth, what are you up to nowadays? Yet everybody here in the back wants to believe that I'm in cahoots with these guys, that I am potentially going to rejoin Ascension, and it's starting to make me think maybe, just maybe, it's not a bad idea. Now, I'm not saying this is something I am considering. I'm not saying that I want to do.
Well, it looks like we're about to have company here. Give you two guesses who it is. It will be none other than Bryce Ketterly and Suruk Onomochi. They are Ascension. Nope, it's our chairman.
No.
Oh, well, look at this. Look at this. We get both of them. Stewart and Ascension. Well, it's Victor. Nope. Thought I saw Victor Kessel back there, but I was wrong. The chairman of the board is here. And here they come. Bryce Ketterly, Suruk Onomochi. They are Ascension. Well, you talk about bizarre. This is certainly bizarre in every sense of the word.
You guys want to kind of explain what you're doing out here. I don't remember this being a group organized event. I remember exactly seeing that I was supposed to come out here and say a little something, so...
There's nothing untoward going on here. Now guys, I get it, you want to say your piece and you've had your time. I think we know what the issue is here, so I think this is something that me and Seth just need to handle. See, Seth, you know, just before we came out here, I was listening to what you're saying about, you know, you feel like everyone in the back is questioning your intentions. These people in the crowd who frankly don't know what's best to do in this business are questioning your move. Only you know, Seth, what's best for business, and you know what's best for your career. Now, you've seen how it's gone over the past few weeks. You've tried to ignore these men behind me, these men who helped you get to the highest of heights that you had, the peak of your career, and then you saw what they could do for you last week. Now, you may feel like you don't know what's best for you, maybe, I don't know, but come on, you know, Ascension is the only way you can go to Wrestle Series and beat someone of the caliber of Matt Asador, of Michael Carson. And you don't want to listen to idiots like Matt Asador trying to mess around with you in the back. Frankly, it is a...
Well, now who's coming out here?
What is he doing here? He had his match.
Well, here he comes once again, the gunslinger, Matt Asador. If you were here last week, he was back in the locker room with Seth saying, "What are you doing?"
Getting his nose where it didn't belong, as he always does.
Well, this situation just got a whole lot more interesting.
You know, I sat back there, finished my match, and Seth, you come out here and you say all the right things, and here comes Stu with these two guys. And Stu, and I know that you're the chairman, and quite frankly, you can do to me pretty much whatever you want to. But right now, you really just need to shut your mouth. Seth?
I beg your fucking pardon. What did you just say? No.
Shut your mouth. This is me talking to Seth. What you're doing and what these guys are doing are trying to drag this man back down. Seth, think about it. Since you came back here, since you rejoined as a performer in this ring, you have accomplished something you never have been able to do. And that was win the Elimination Royale. You did that on your own. You stood in this ring. You pointed up at that Wrestle Series sign, and these fans cheered for you, and they pulled for you. And then I sit in the back, Seth, and I hear you say, maybe it's a good idea to join these guys. And then Stu says, you can't win without them. Seth, you can win without them. You do not need these.
You know what? No. I'm cutting you off. You know what, Matt? You really think you can just come out here and try to interfere in this whole thing? You know what? I'm getting a little sick and tired of seeing you poke your business. You poke your nose in people's business. I've seen it happen when you started out in Pulse Wrestling, and now you think you can come up to VWE and just start, getting in people's business. This here is Seth Cameron, the Eliminator, a Hall of Famer, a 5-time world champion. You think he wants to listen to the likes of you? You need to learn a lesson. You know what, Seth? I'm going to give you an opportunity, actually. You know what? How about this, Matt? Since you seem to want to get so acquainted with someone like Seth, and since you seem to think you know this man, how about this? How about next week you have a little match with the Eliminator? See what he's really all about. Because I know this man, and I know he'll make the right choice next week. What do you reckon?
First off, let me address both of you at the same time. Number one, Stu, I know what you're trying to pull, I know what you're trying to play, I know what these two delinquents over here are trying to do as well, and quite frankly, I might have said a minute ago that I had considered potentially being a part of what you guys are trying to do, just because of the reaction of people that I'm getting from in the back. And, quite frankly, you setting me up against this guy, I know exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to pit me and Matt against each other so that the old Seth will come out. I get what you're trying to do, Stu. But on the same note, Matt, I told you last week, while I appreciate everything that you're trying to do, while I appreciate you coming to me and asking me, trying to give me some clarity on this situation, I told you, don't butt in to my situation. Do not butt into my business. And what do? You decide to come out here and confront this situation, which you have no business being in. Now, I've said before, I have a lot of respect for you. I've watched you go from Pulse to the main roster. I've watched your entire career in here. Anybody in the back that would ask me what I thought of Matt Asadar, I always sat there and said I thought he was one of the greatest up-and-coming wrestlers of all time. But then you go and you get in my business. And I know part of me should sit here and thank you for that, because you're just trying to be a good guy. You're trying to sit here and give me some good advice. But on the other hand, the last person who got in my business years ago got a super kick to the face. And hell, the last person who got in my business, let's say a few months back, got a power bomb to the canvas. In fact, he's standing to the right of me right now. I don't dig the idea of anybody getting in my business. And so, you know what? You want to get involved. Stu wants to make a match against you and me for next week at 6 feet under. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say let's do it. That's fine. You want my answer? Any of you guys, you want my answer to whether or not I'm going to be part of Ascension, whether I'm going to be the old Seth Cameron or the new Seth Cameron? How about you find out next Friday? Because one way or another, you're going to find out.
You know what, Seth, that's all I wanted to hear. That match is official for next week. You know what? Guys, let's go to the back. Ta-ta for now.
Well, how about that, folks? Next week at 6 feet under, it'll be the Eliminator, Seth Cameron. It'll be the Gunslinger, Matt Asadar. The situation just gets even more bizarre.
Hey, this is what Matt deserves. I mean, he was told point blank last week, don't get in my business. And here he is.
Well, folks, don't miss 6 feet under. It is 1 week from tonight. You can see it live here at Empire City Coliseum. You can see it live on Patreon. You can see the main event on Facebook for free. And just added to that show next week, now it will be the Eliminator Seth Cameron taking on the Gunslinger Matt Asadar. Well, folks, we are just about ready for